Can I be real or is it boring? To give you a peace of mind, cause mine is so enormous. Way past the norm, Norman.
What up, though? It's that nigga Mom. In another episode of They Were Not the Villains. Before we get into it, like and subscribe so we hit that 100K today. And today, who's not the villain is Namor. Namor was not, or Namor, he was not the villain. The villain in this movie was not Wakanda either. The villain in this movie was the U.S. government. The U.S. government had sent that the Tony Stark's, wannabe girl that was a big fan of him. Found out she was smart, tried to use her technology to go down there. She became a target to them because of the U.S. government. It was the U.S. government fault in this whole movie. Why? Even the war between the Wakandans and I forgot what Namor and them people was called, but yeah, he wasn't the villain in this movie. It essentially, when Ryan Coogler is a fucking director of a movie, he's going to bring life into the so-called villain to the point where they ain't even a fucking villain no more. He wasn't a villain. They was a peaceful nation that was hitting just like Wakanda was. Wakanda decided to, open they world or they venue up to, outside worlds and shit. And that gave access to other places and shit. So is Wakanda at fault? Not really. Wakanda can't help how the government acts. You know what I'm saying? Once they find resources and they know they can knock you the fuck off and all that shit for those resources and they ain't gotta pay you nothing or none of that shit, they gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't Namor for he did what he had to do, man. He already knew. Like, hey, I'm gonna have to fight. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of y'all motherfuckers. So we're gonna look at this little scene real quick. I'm gonna unmute it. See what they were talking about in the scene. Cause part 2 don't get that much, recognition like that. I gotta look at it again. I watched it one time, bro. Part 1, I only watched that like 3 times. As many years that went by, I don't watch it only about 3 times. But this one, I only watched it one time. So I gotta go back and watch this. Wakanda's almost, you can almost say they was like villains in this movie because old girl was Shuri was the one that was the essentially queen after her mom's and her brother died. But the brother ex-girlfriend, she became the villain because she killed somebody. And that really started the war. But the war, if you look at it from the beginning, it was really the government. And now you got Shuri fucking protecting the government. Now they become like the villain of the movie. So, yeah. Really, Wakandans was like semi-villains in this movie because, they decided to be on the side of the government. Well, they could have just continued to be like, man, fuck that. Let's go back into, hiding and not reveal our resources. Because it was fucking kind of idiocy in the first movie for them to even consider, showing other motherfuckers in the world. And I know Killmonger, on the other video I was talking about how Killmonger wasn't a villain. But if he would have gave the resources to other people in the world, they would have had the same shit. And it would have been unlimited war type shit. So, yeah. With that being said, that's just my take on it. Those are the villains I got out the movie. Shuri wasn't a villain. The mother wasn't a villain. You know what I'm saying? Namor wasn't a villain. It was just like the U.S. government. That's all I can say. And even though that's a movie, that stands the test of time in reality. So with that being said, like and subscribe so we hit that 100K today. Y'all know any other type of people y'all feel not villains, It just tell me, and if I'm familiar with the movie, I'll give you my insight on if I feel if they villains or not. So with that being said, like and subscribe, hit that so I can hit that 100K today. Stay peaceful, productive, and positive. It's that nigga mine, and much love.
Can I be real or is it boring? To give you a peace of mind, cause mine is so enormous. Way past the norm, Norman, while you're conforming. Like comforting mattresses that comfort them when torment snoring. Like you in your own home without home phone. I'm on like E.T., got a phone home past the moon. It's not a movie, I'm about to fly past it soon. Spiritually, I roam alone. Physically, I'm eating off of plastic.